today we're going to be learning the easiest solution to the 3x3 shape mod, the ghost cube. First of all, let's take a quick look at the solved state. So as you can see, every single piece is unique, and even if two pieces may look similar, like these two pieces, they are slightly different in measurement. Now another good tip to see is that each sticker has sort of a brush on it, and on each side the brushes will always be moving in the same direction. This will help if you put a piece in and you're wondering whether it's the correct one or not. Just check if the brushes are going in the same direction. If you have a stickerless version, it's fine. You might just have to do a little bit more guess and check. Now another interesting thing about the ghost cube is that in the solved state you actually can't turn it. It's not until you misalign the layers that you can begin to turn it. This would be sort of the equivalent to if they got a 3x3 and then moved the layers a little bit, and then they shaped each piece so that this is the solved state. So notice this weird looking thing is sort of like a solved side because all the pieces are correct. So instead of memorizing all 6 of these weird sides, all you're going to have to do is memorize the top side and the bottom side. Now notice the difference between the center pieces. Now some of the center pieces are 2 panels, like this center piece has 2 stickers, but then the top and bottom have 3 panels. This will be really easy to pick out once you've messed it up. So you'll begin with a 3-panel one, and you'll just do edges and corners, and then you'll insert your F2L edges here, and then you'll finish off by doing the last layer. Now since this is a 3x3 shape mod, I'm going to assume that you already know the beginner's method to the 3x3. If you don't, you can view my page for an easy tutorial on it, then you can come back to this video and solve the ghost cube. The first step of the beginner's method is to build the white cross, but since this is the ghost cube, we won't really know whether we have lined it up with our centers or not because they're not aligned correctly, so we will have to put them in order without aligning them with our centers. Although this shouldn't be too hard because it will still create sort of a smooth line, and you'll know whether you've put in your pieces right, so this would be the white cross. You will have to do a little bit of guess and check, but if you start with one of the 3-panel centers like I advised, you'll have like a ramp piece, 2 trapezoids, and then sort of a column piece on either one of them. The next step, of course, is to put in your first layer corners. This may take a lot of guess and check because the corners look really similar, but just know that on your 3-panel centers, you'll have 2 normal triangle pieces and then 2 of these odd pieces. Now our next step we actually don't run into on the normal 3x3, because on the normal one, the centers are just perfect squares, so it doesn't matter whether this was rotated 90 degrees or 180 degrees. But on the ghost cube, the centers are not symmetrical, so it does matter how they are rotated. Now since the layers are misaligned, the centers actually don't match up with their edges. They're sort of placed on random points, so we will have to know where the centers will go and what degrees to rotate them. The way I like to remember it is the 2 smallest stickers, the smallest sticker on the first layer and the smallest sticker on the second layer centers, match up like this, sort of making a Z shape. And then the rest of them should fall into place after that. This will go here, this will go here, and then I'll show you the algorithm that you'll use to flip these centers. So as you can see here, I want to rotate this 180 degrees so that it'll line up smoothly with this. So what I will do is I will move my first layer out of the way, just part of it, and then move it away on the top layer. And now I'm free to move this center as much as I want because these pieces don't matter. So I want to move it 180 degrees, so just turn it twice. Then I'll move my pieces back, and then realign these centers. So now all that I've done is rotate this center 180 degrees, and I've kept my first layer, and now it appears that all of my centers are matched up. Now I can go to the second layer edges. Once again, since our layers are misaligned, the second layer will not match up perfectly with the first layer. However, since our centers are rotated correctly, it will make a continuous smooth line around the cube. So you can see here the edges have been put in, and then at the end, I'll just realign this first layer. But guessing and checking while doing the beginner's edge algorithm to put them in and out is going to take a super long time, so I wanted to show you a quick way of how to check whether you have the correct edge or not. So for instance, I wanted to check if this edge fits into this slot here. So what I'll do is I'll just move it down to check. As I can see, the lines are moving in the same way. So then at this point, I can just do my beginner's edge algorithm, insert it in, and now I can see that it's all correct. Now unfortunately for the last layer cross, the ghost cube doesn't have any colors facing up, so we will have to resort to a different way to tell which cross case we have. So we will pretty much use this principle that if the edge is not facing up, it will never match up with its correct slot, but if it is facing up, it'll eventually hit this perfect point, it'll be smooth, and then we can tell. So we'll just pick an edge and then move it around the cube and see if it ever matches up in its correct spot. So this doesn't appear to have any place where it's all smooth. This one does match up here because the line's moving in the same way. This next one does not. And then this one should, because it shouldn't be an odd number, and yes, this one matches up here. So this is the equivalent to having our bar case, and then we'll simply just do our bar case algorithm and then move on to the next step. On a normal 3x3, it's easy to see that this corner is in place, but as you can see, no two colors are next to each other, so on a ghost cube we wouldn't have any smooth lines to indicate that a corner is in place. We'll just have to look at the corners and then imagine twisting them to see if any would fall in place. So it looks like if I were to turn this corner, then it would create a smooth triangle finishing that little side. So I'll just line my layers, then I'll do my algorithm, and then these two are definitely in place, and it looks like these two are in their correct positions. Now we can move to twisting them. Now when you finish solving all the pieces, you might still have this case where the last layer center is rotated 180 degrees. We'll just do a really easy algorithm to fix this. So align your layers, and then you'll do R, U, R prime, U, and then you will repeat that 5 times. So you just keep doing that until the cube fixes itself. And then, as you can see, we've rotated just the center 180 degrees. You realign your layers, and then you're all done. Though the ghost cube is a pretty difficult shape mod, I would not say that it's that difficult of a puzzle. After practicing this a few times, you should be able to solve it pretty quickly. I hope this video helped you. You can view my page for more tutorials, and for the future, good luck.